Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Road Company Cup. I guess we should be calling it now the Road Cup, brought to you by CheckmateGaming.com. My name, of course, is realBluTV. I'm joined with Rome for today's cast, and we have our first matchup for today as well, our quarterfinals matchup. We had to wait for Lager versus FrenchX. That was a very intimidating match to watch between those two teams going back and forth. I mean, at one point, Lager was down in the King of the Hill by like 100 points. Then they come back, they win two of those rounds so that they can force a game three. That was a gruesome game as well. But FrenchX pulling it out. We talked about this just before the break as well. Mr. Brady always brings a roster full of EU players, most notably that can bring some competitiveness to the scene. And that's exactly what they're showing already to start today off. But our matchup will be FrenchX versus Mighty Porcupine, another team we talked about briefly before the break as well, because they have Who's That on the squad and Joker as well. But they have Nash and Rugi on the other end of this roster as well. And this, we don't know if Who's That and Joker will stay on this team. You know, they were playing with Cannibals before. They made it very far into the main bracket. I think they got third place. That was a disappointing finish for them, however. But Who's That has really been increasing over the last few weeks, months. Basically, I mean, shout out to him as well. He started doing his own tournaments just because there's been, so much demand for it all over with new players rushing through, mostly because of the Steam. But hey, let's talk about FrenchX versus Mighty Porcupine. Rome, what are we expecting? What are your predictions coming out of these two teams here?
If I'm going to say predictions, I would say just based on the maps that we do have, simply because we already know the maps. It's going to be Skyfell Demolition to start off. I do know that Mighty Porcupine, Who's That, Joker, Nash, and Rugi, they are very, very comfortable on this map, Skyfell. Who's That? We've seen him play Chalk multiple times. He's extremely comfortable with that. Now that Switchblade isn't in the meta, they're not going to have to worry about that. They can also run Fixer, which they can put Joker or Nash on the Fixer. Rugi, he's been showing that he can play a multitude of rogues, whether it's Talon, whether it's Kestrel, whether it's so many different rogues. Nash has been loving Glitch lately as well. With Nash lately, I'm saying this and I'm saying this confidently, it has been, if you do not ban Glitch against Nash X, he is going to play it on any map. That is how he is feeling right now. So he is loving Glitch. That is his main right now. He has said that a million times. And I'm excited to see if it's going to get banned against him or if he's going to be able to pull it out. Let's see if he's going to pull it out on Skyfell. This is one map where I did hear him debating with himself whether he was going to play it or not. He was like, do I go with this or do I go with something a little bit better, since it is such a big map? So I'm excited to see if he's going to be pulling out the Glitch and what comp this team is going to run. That's what I'm excited about. I think it's going to be a weird comp coming out of the side of Mighty Porcupine.
All right. Well, hey, weird comp it might be. You said we're going to Skyfell first. Let's take a look at the entire series layout for this matchup. It is a best of three throughout the entire tournament. We're going to Skyfell for our demolition game number one, but our favelas, our King of the Hill will be on favelas. And then if necessary, it's going to be a demo on canals for game three. But we already heard you say, Nash, he's feeling confident where he can play Glitch on every map, but then he second guesses himself on Skyfell with that Glitch. But when we talk about favelas, what are you expecting for FrenchX to bring out in this matchup?
FrenchX, I'm excited to see because I haven't seen a lot of YTB. I've seen Mr. Brady, I've seen Sackage, I've seen Tickens before on various teams, but we haven't seen YTB. So I'm interested to see how, with this new fourth player that they're going to play in King of the Hill as well as Demolition, because one player can change up everything. You throw another cook in the kitchen and the whole meal is changed. So we'll see how this team is going to perform. I'm not sure if it's going to be better or worse. We already saw that Roco got picked up by Vibes, I believe, and they ended up getting taken out. So we'll see if this team is going to be able to prevail with their new fourth or if they will be taken out by Mighty Porcupine. Now, Mighty Porcupine, I will say this, if it does go to the King of the Hill favelas, which we are going to see no matter what, I do believe that Rugi is going to single-handedly run that map. He is extremely comfortable on that map. That is his favorite King of the Hill map. Nash, that's one of his least favorite maps. He does like to run the Talon on it, and he's torn between running the DMR or running the submachine gun, simply because it's such a map where sometimes not having that long range will mess you up, and sometimes not having that short range will mess you up even more. Favelas is such a greatly balanced map. So Nash, he tends to struggle on it, just deciding on which one to pick. But it's gonna be a great matchup regardless.
Yes, great matchup. Rome, we've got news for you. Nash
Okay.
won't have to contemplate whether he has to play Glitch on Skyfell because FrenchX will be banning Glitch out. On the other side, though, Mighty
Ah,
Porcupine, they'll be banning out Ronin. So both of the characters that we've been talking so much about today, out of the
yep.
question here for game number 1. So with that in mind, now what are you expecting, Rome? Because Nash won't be able to play his Glitch, and neither team will be able to pull out the Dahlia Ronin link because, well, Ronin won't be available. So obviously, we're going to see Dahlias out there, and we could see some Dallas as well. Because if you look at FrenchX, Tykins, I mean, he came from Paladins. I'm very familiar with this player. He's done a good job in the Roco scene with what he's been given over the short career that he has had so far, and he's been playing Dallas a lot during that. So we could see him bring out Dallas. Dallas has been a really good pick in the past on this map. And now that Ronin's not there, you don't really have to worry about getting faked out or revealing the wrong person or always having to watch every corner because someone who is immune to the reveals is not available.
Oh yeah, that's why I can expect to see some variation of these rogues right here. You're going to see a lot of Seeker, most likely. You're going to see a lot of Lancer, most likely, as you can not have to worry about a lot of the reveals and things like that. You can just run right through the sensor darts. That's really all you got to worry about. You're probably going to see a lot of Dallas. Like you said, that snap is going to be super informative because you're guaranteed the closest player, unless that player is Lancer in her Lancer ult, which is a reason why Lancer is most likely going to be picked. Also might see a little bit of Kestrel as well, as Kestrel is always thrown into the mix a little bit. Might see some chalk on the offensive side, probably not the defensive side, but I doubt that these teams are going to be running an Anvil on defense. If we do see a team run an Anvil, it's probably going to be FrenchX. Not sure it's going to be the side of Mighty Porcupine. I think that they're probably going to go with the Fragger options on their side. Might even see a Talon. I know Nash has been feeling extremely comfortable on the Talon pick, so we might even see that get pulled out right here. Not sure, but I do like the bans extremely well. That is just the meta right now with Switchblade out and Ronin immune to reveals. She is the meta, and Glitch is the counter to Ronin. People don't want Nash on Glitch. And Nash hates playing against the Ronin meta. Why? Because when you don't have intel, you can't make as much plays. It's that simple. If you are a big brain IGL player, if you like to know where everyone's at, figure it out, and then make a coordinated push, that is 10 times harder to do with a Ronin Dahlia on the map. So Nash has done it in community tournaments, and he's doing it here. I'm not surprised to see him banning the Ronin at all.
Yeah, Nash has been one of those players that kind of wanted to play Talon when nobody else wanted to play Talon, right? Way long ago. He was like, guys, Talon's pretty good. We can do this with Talon. We can do this. We can do that. And no one really believed him. Then Talon started to get a little bit better, time after time after time. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, I started this Talon meta and no one gave Nash any credit. So this is me giving him credit for like 6 months ago when he wanted to play Talon all the time. And then when you talk about FrenchX being the only team that could possibly bring out Anvil here, I think that's true as well, because this is something that I thought was just EU specific. They loved Anvil and they did, but it's most notably whatever team Mr. Brady is running, right? He always is like saying, we got to play Anvil here. And then on the other side, we could see that chalk come out because that's something that has been a dominant force on these past few weeks. And then, of course, Lancer for both teams could always come out as well, especially on a map like Skyfell for that attacking team, quickly getting the bomb or the bomb site control of it on that B side because you want to rush there with the Lancer in her quick and quiet, which lasts 14 seconds now, which is just absurd. Right? I mean, hey, Nex, if you're listening, she got buff. You might want to come back. You could get some W's under your belt once again, right? And everyone doesn't like her. And she won't get banned as much because you got to ban things like Glitch and Ronin and Fixer and Phantom, and Dima once people realize how great Dima is. But hey, I'm just sitting in my bubble over here. People think I'm crazy. Whatever.
It's funny you bring up Nex because he's actually been entering in some of these community tournaments. He's now entered in 2 of them recently in the past week. So we might actually see it happen. Who knows?
Hey, we could, right? I mean, that was a guy that was one of the dominant forces, not just on Lancer, but in the scene overall. I mean, it is what it is. If he comes back, I'd be interested to see him and where he's gone as a player with that big hiatus that he's had. But hey, we're finally ready to jump into this game, Rome. So let's go ahead and let's do it. It is FrenchX versus Mighty Porcupine for game number 1 here in our quarterfinals of qualifier number 1 for our August CMG Rogue Cup. And I am just so thrilled that we get to start it off on Skyfell, because I feel like Rogue Company is shooting towards the top, right? And we're on the top of this big building right here.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And already you see the Dallas. You see who's that on the chalk. And this time they're going to be going double res. Now, this is interesting. The two smoke characters, I'm guessing they have to be on offense. I highly doubt they would do this. And it looks like on defense, looks like there is going to be the Lancer, which is a great pick on defense. You always got to play for. And now they only have the Dallas snap to deal with it. And so that Lancer is going to be able to do a whole lot on this map. They also have the Dallas themselves for a little bit of intel, and they have Mr. Brady on the Fixer. So double res with double smokes going into a Fixer that can see through smokes. This is going to be interesting. I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out for both sides. I believe if I were the side of Porcupine, I believe that I would just go to A with this comp. You're either going to go to A, smoke out the doors, smoke out mid, play it safe, or you'll go to B, do the same thing. You'll smoke out both doors, the second door, the first door. One player will watch them while you try to push out the player in the back. So let's see how this is going to be shaping out as they are going in with the two smoke characters as well as the chalk. And this is going to be that push. There's going to be the smoke on the second door. And it looks like they're going to be cutting out to the mid this time, running through the molly. But who's that gets taken down?
Yeah, they have a ton of ways to shut down lines of sight no matter which site they go. I mean, two smokes on two characters and then also double flashbang. But Rugi looks like he saw the target and was able to take it down. Mr. Brady finds himself on the ground, and Rugi finds another one. You talked about Rugi being able to take over the game when they go to respawn, but right now, Joker and Rugi are the ones taking over together. 2 downs apiece for them, and I think the St. Dahlia is working out, because not only are they the revives, but they're the head fraggers at this point. And, you know, Chalk's out there for who's that once again. Like I was saying, that has been a dominant force when he is on that character, and he's bringing it out once again. Tykin's on that Dallas, and they don't have an Anvil on defense, so we were both wrong about that one when it comes to FrenchX, and maybe that could have helped them because they got rushed hard. And now it looks like they're going to be doing the same thing off of Statue here. Smoked in door 2. Turns the corner, and look at this. Who's that?
And the lifeline already out from Rugi as well. I was going to say he only had a grenade. He pre-cooked the nade, nothing else in his kit, no gun. So he definitely had lifeline. So the fact that the Chalk can be revived 3 times in one round, he can self-revive, he can be Dahlia revived, and then he can be Saint droned. This Chalk is literally just going to run headstrong into the other team with that 170 HP and have his will with them.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he didn't even have to use his rage ability when he turned in the back of Lambo. I mean, he just turns the corner, downs 2 people. Yeah, he goes down, but he gets revived by the Dahlia there, by hand, I believe it was as well. And, you know, he gets 2 downs from it. That is, even if he dies there, that's a good trade. But the fact that he was able to get rezzed with so much revive potential is just icing on the cake at that point. 2-0 now, the attacking side of Mighty Porcupine. They lead.
Yeah,
it looks like they're just going to go for the same thing.
Oh yeah, why fix something that isn't broke? And right now, they are already in the lead with revives as well. They have 3 revives to their name, which is just so easy to happen, but they're going to need to stay alive. Both the revive players go down first. That means the Chalk is going to need to go massive. Who's that is able to get 1 down. Now Mr. Brady, the Fixer smoke time.
Yeah, pops the smoke, pops the goggles. He sees some people through his thermals, but it's not who he needs to be looking at this time. Who's that? Finally gets finished off. YTB or TK78, however you want to classify him, is getting chased right now. Finally gets taken out. Nash able to get that down. Finally got shot at a little bit, had to back up. Then he uses his ability off that recharge from his passive after he got that initial down. He's in a 3v1. Gets some good shots onto, I think that was Sackage there, that he was able to get those good shots onto. Maybe it was Mr. Brady. Either way, they will have rejuvenated full health by now. Bomb's in the middle of the map as well. He's in a situation that does not look like it's going to go his way. as he is slowly just moving about on the platform from the B site towards mid. And finally, they're able to collapse onto him. They didn't want to overcompensate and maybe get picked off one by one, but that was just a better defensive round. They knew they were going to get rushed once again, but they were ready for it this time.
Yeah, 100%. And the problem with that right there was the smokes came at the second door, but they didn't come at front Lambo. So the Dahlia that was back there, all she had to do with that DMR was just double tap that down the Saint, and that was the start of the demise. You know, the Dahlia went outside. She got killed from mid while trying to use her utility, and that just can't happen if you're on the side of offense. Your revives cannot be the first ones to go down. You got to let the chalk lead and let everyone else follow. And Sackage already going to be trying to make the plays on Nash. Let's see how it's going to be playing out. He's going to be going ahead and doing a full wrap back. Now, is he going to see him at this window? No, he's not. So the flank is going to be free, but he's going to play it safe, go back toward mid, just play it like a pretty smart Lancer, but he's going to have to do a retake now. So now's when you debate, do you hit the mid door or do you full flank? Looks like he's going to go mid door.
Well, you have YTB on their D1 here through mid. He's watching these angles. Nice shots onto Rugi. Had to back up with one shot left in him. Nash is also half health on their side of Lambo. And coming around the corner, the backside of the defending spawn was who's that? He finds YTB. And now the Lancer's starting to make some plays, but finally goes down. Rugi finds him with the pistol as well. Trades are happening back and forth, but Joker finishes everything off with that down. And once again, the offense prevails. It's 3-1 now. And the Lancer had good positioning, just did not make good use of it in time.
Yeah, just wasn't able to read it. Sometimes as a Lancer, you do have to gamble. Lancer is definitely the biggest gamble rogue in the game. You got to take gambles if you want to make plays right there. If the Lancer would have just said, you know what, I'm going to hit this flank. I'm confident that even if Nash is back here, I'm going to be able to win the gunfight. If he would have just did that, might have been able to help his team a little bit more because, like I said, their only intel is this Dallas snap, which they are using pretty early. So, you know, if that is the case, the Lancers should get a little bit more confident, try to be a little bit more dominant on the map for the team as they're pushing out Lambo yet again.
This is a hard push into Lambo. Joker finds one. Rugi also found another one onto Sackage, and that is the Lancer once again shooting through smokes, but I am guessing, and I can see that the tracker rounds are available, and that's something we don't talk enough of, right? Because there's a lot of characters out there that can bring tracker rounds to the table. When these reveal characters are getting picked constantly, and we talk about the reveal meta and how it's kind of disappearing because of Ronin and things like that, you take Ronin out of the equation, you have the Dallases out there that can reveal one member, but then you have characters that can just flat out reveal numerous times as long as they are hitting them with a bullet, right? One bullet is all it takes to reveal that person. Even through a smoke, you got an idea of where someone is, you shoot through that smoke, you get a tag, and then all of a sudden it's like closing in on your prey. Big flashbang comes out on that main doorway, and it looks like they might want to take over Lambo once again, but playing even further back this time on the defensive side, raging through mid. Look at the Semtex stuck to his bicep, but because of the rage, he survives it. Rome's getting excited there. 15 health to his name. They make a great rotation with the entire squad towards the A site, and they have it for free, and they get the bomb planted.
And that's just so unfortunate. That is the reason that you upgrade that Semtex as soon as you can. That is exactly the reason, because he had the rage, he popped it, and wasn't able to do it. If you upgrade that Semtex, it's 250, a guaranteed down if you stick somebody, and that's just so unfortunate if you're the Lancer. You feel so good whenever you land the sticky, and then he didn't even go down and was able to get you in the trade. Unfortunate, and now his team are dropping like flies.
Oh, and who's that? Just sitting on the window here. Finally gets poked out with the small angle that they have. Gets back up, of course, with the double res at his disposal. And then he downs one member. They finish everyone off after that. What a beautiful rotation that came out from the team there. 5-1 they lead now, Rome.
Yeah, and right now this is straight domination. It is offense, and the team did not pick Anvil, so they're exploiting that by simply using these flashes. You see the combination. Like I said, the problem with it when they did lose that one round is they did not smoke that back Lambo area. Now they are pre-flashing as well as pre-smoking, so they're throwing both at the same time. They said, look, you're not going to be able to see because of the flash, and you're not going to be able to see because of the smoke. We're not giving you either option, and they're able to cut out to mid door because of it or take site control because of it every single time. And right now, Sacket's just going to be playing this long A side. Now, this is a cool flank out of the Lancer, but what really matters is where Nash is going to be and how he's going to meet him. Now, is he going to have a little bit more confidence this time, and is he going to go straight through the window? Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. You got to have confidence sometimes as the Lancer if you want to make the plays. And right now, this is going to be a triple flank as they are playing for Nash, and they know he's here. Nash is running. Nash is down to 40, and everyone's going back to him. Wow.
Yeah, and then that incend does massive damage, and not just that, it cuts off Zackage. He can't even join the rest of his team for that fight, so they have to deal with it without him. Finally, he can get there. C4 comes out. It finishes off Joker, but doesn't down the member that he was actively in a gunfight with and chasing. Smokes everywhere. Because of that, the thermals will work a little bit better towards his favor. They're on the bomb, and Tykins was able to find Who's That to finish it off. And I was going to say, when you're talking about the smokes and flashes coming out at the same time, that is devastating for the defense because those tracker rounds are coming out as well. So it's not only, oh, you're getting revealed through a smoke that you can't see through, but also if you're getting flashbanged and you pop your thermals, right, you could get flashbanged. You can't see even if your thermal's up. And also, if you get flashbanged in a smoke and you're getting tagged up, you can't see for yourself to get behind cover, right? And they can see you through that smoke once they're able to tag you with those trackers. So it's just devastating, that combo they were delivering there. But that was still a good defensive round. We thought, okay, Sackage, he's in his quick and quiet. He just broke through the window. They're going to hear that. Nash is going to be prepared for it. But then all of a sudden he turns the corner and his two teammates are with him. There's three people rushing Nash in the back. And that was halftime. Wow. What a good plan. But yeah, it's too bad they didn't think of that a little bit earlier.
Looks like they are going to be pulling out the Fixer on defense now. So they're going to be having the Fixer, the Lancer, and then their intel is going to be the Talon. Now, I did say that he has been liking the Talon, and that's going to be what Nash is going to play this time. I believe Joker is going to be on the Dahlia. Yes, all right. And Who's That is on the Lancer. And that means big boy Rugi is going to be on the Fixer. And right now, let's see how Who's That is going to be making his Lancer plays. Is he going to be a little bit more confident? Is he going to be more passive? We'll see, because he's about to run into an entire team of 4 players. Now, is he going to cut through the mid instead? Looks like he is. He's just going to be getting the intel. And all of them took the zip line, so he actually doesn't see any of them. Now, I'm guessing that they did read the cross and were able to tell that they are at least going to this A side. And Nash, you can already tell he's getting ready at the top of this boat. And the Lancer got to make a play. You got to, oh, nice use of the railing, making sure you got a super wide swing it so the teammate can help. And wow, that was an amazing flank.
What a great play. As you mentioned, just being cautious and being aware that you can hop up on top of that. You got to be careful, though. It might fall off. But the rest of the team gets finished off there. No chance for them as they were trying to push through to that A site. Took the zip, then kind of crossed back, tried to confuse them. But the ones being confused, well, that was Mr. Brady and company. Who's That? Making some plays for his team. 9 downs to his name. He leads the way this game so far. But it's 6-2, and they're closing in on a Game 1 victory here.
Yeah, only 2 rounds away. Who's That? Feeling very comfortable right now on this Lancer. He was able to do a lot for his team on that last round. You're going to be feeling good. Anytime round 1 pistol round, you're able to hit a play like that. Now you're able to get your gun. You're able to get maybe padded and a Simtex as well, simply because you participated in so many kills. And now it looks like they're going to need to stop this B push. And right now, this Lancer, Sackage, still only having a pistol. Unlike Who's That, who is currently behind them. Nash and Who's That have a pinch on mid, so if they're going to run into mid, they're just going to get pinched.
Friendly's eliminated. That's going to hurt our reputation.
Wow, that was beautiful out of the defense. That round ended so quickly, I didn't expect that. But Nash had booted over to the enemy side off the rip, and they had all decided to cut out to mid, and Nash was on one side of mid, Who's was on the other, and you know, you can't win a gunfight you ain't ready for, and they weren't ready for either side of that crossfire, and they were just able to mow them down. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that this team has just started to show that they can do so well here in this game, and that's just determine when they want to rush and being able to do it effectively. I think that's about their 4th time this game, effectively saying, let's rush them, and they were able to win those engagements because of it. Nice Talon Dart coming out straight through onto that mid entrance. You can see if anyone rotates past it. You can see if anyone is going to try and rotate through it.
That's a beautiful dart.
Going all the way
the
through.
Lancer.
Who's that? Quick and quiet for about 6 hours. The rest of the team fell apart. It's a victory. And
and that dart right there. Whew, that dart right there won them the play. Yeah, because it won them the play. That was amazing. If you throw that dart, you can see if anyone's camping at that typical corner to watch mid, and that gives your Lancer the freest flank in the world. And that's what I'm talking about, setting up the flanks for your Lancer. And Nash just did it perfectly for Who's That to a T. Wow.
Hey, let's take a look at some of these replays here. Hopefully that will be one of them. And you talked about, I mean, you put that Talon Dart in the middle, you can see in the mid, so you know no one's there. And if no one's behind that wall on that Talon Dart, well, Who's That can just kind of run right through it. And that's what happened. I mean, walk us through this game, though, Rome. What did Mighty Porcupine do so well?
They just exploited what the enemy didn't have, and the enemy did not have an anvil for that flash immunity, and they played off of that amazingly, using the chalk, able to push in on offense, and then on defense, they were just able to use their Lancer and play around the Lancer all 3 rounds. The second round, they were able to pinch, and the third round, they were able to hit the full flank using that Talon Dart to get that intel, exactly what you love to see. As a Lancer main myself, can't lie. And now we got Favela's King of the Hill that we are going to be going to, which, in my opinion, should be a pretty clear map for the side of Mighty Porcupine.
Hey, you said Rugi is going to run this one. Well, I can't wait to see if that is true. He kind of did some big things as one of that double res on the attacking side for them. And that's something we haven't seen in a while as well. The St. Dahlia, did you like that coming out? Because it was pretty much successful, right? I mean, it was what?
Yeah.
5-2 at halftime, and they just looked very good with it. And it's played very nicely with their strategy of keeping Who's That alive on the chalk as well, because you have the drone, the Dahlia Link, and the Rage to keep him alive, and he did so perfectly. I mean, look at that Semtex stick that came through. Sackage, what a play to get that Semtex stuck to him. That's what you aim for. But when you raged up, and you don't have a double upgraded Semtex there, you just can't find out or find the damage. But what we can find out are the bans coming in for Favela's Game 2. French will ban out Vi, and Porcupine will ban out Anvil. This is pretty standard stuff for a respawn mode. And with King of the Hill, you got to control the site. It's not like Strike Out. You don't have to touch it and then you can walk away. You got to have at least one person on that objective all the time. That's 2 people there, Vi and Anvil, who can kind of shut down the site and keep people from getting back on it as effectively as they'd like. So with that in mind, what do you expect to see here? Are we going to see some fixers, obviously, because that's still available? Are we going to see Dahlia again or Saint because they played it very well? We could see the Chalks, of course. Anything with a flashbang, basically, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the rogues that we see are going to be Joker on the Kestrel, I believe Nash on the Talon. We'll most likely see Rugi on the Fixer, and we'll most likely see Who's That on the Chalk. If not the Chalk, we might be seeing him play a different rogue, not sure. But I would guess that those are going to be the 4 rogues that they are going to be using. If they do a different variation of that, I would be kind of surprised. But those would be the 4 rogues that I'm assuming out of this side. Mr. Brady's team, like I said, they're a new team. I haven't seen too much of these players individually. As a team, though, they could look totally different. So I'm not going to assume what they're going to be on as a whole. But whatever they do pick, they're going to need to get a win, because right now they down 8-2 in the demolition, and that's not a good look heading into the Favela's King of the Hill. You got to have that confidence. You got to get it up, and you got to make it start in the first round.
Yeah. They ended up losing game 1, 8-2, which means they're down 1-0 in the set. It's only best of 3. So if they're looking for a reverse sweep, it all starts with this King of the Hill on Favelas. And it's going to be very difficult for them to do that when you got Rome pumping up someone like Rugi on the side of Mighty Porcupine. But enough talk. Let's get straight into the game and see this action firsthand and see if Rugi can live up to Rome's hype so far. Especially if he's going to be playing something like Fixer. You're going to see that Deadeye come out. I mean, he's got Replenish in his kit now. So that could be deadly in a respawn when you've got a Deadeye Fixer fully upgraded, looking through smokes, firing away, getting the downs, not needing to reload. Replenish is obviously one of the better perks in the game for a respawn mode, Rome.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Once that round 2 pops, you can expect that Replenish to come out. And right now, who's that is going to be on the Lancer instead of the Chalk. So there is going to be the variation. I was wondering what it was going to be. And YTB is going to be on the Chalk for his squad. They are going to be locking in the Lancer, the Kestrel, and the Fixer, which is a very interesting combination. But I do like all 4 rogues, definitely all 4 power picks. So not mad at any of them. Now let's see what rogues we are going to be locking in on Nash, Joker, and Rugi's side. I would guess that it's going to be, like I said, the Talon, the Fixer, and the Kestrel. And there's Joker on the Kestrel, there's Rugi on the Fixer, and there's Nash on the Talon. There we go. And so just like that, that is going to be your compositions for this King of the Hill. Now, I'm excited to see what Rugi's going to do on the Fixer. I'm exceptionally excited to see what Joker is going to do on the Kestrel, because Kestrel is his main when it comes to respawn, so he feels very comfortable on that. He's known to frag out on it. This is going to be one of those where Nash is going to be chilling back with that DMR, most likely holding the spawns, things like that. Like I said, on this map, he has debated multiple times, do I go DMR or do I go with the sub? And I'm excited to see which one he's actually picking. If we could actually go to him, because it kind of does matter with how he's going to be playing. Because if he picks the sub, he's going to be playing a lot more in the hill and things like that. And if he ends up picking the DMR, then he's going to be playing a lot more long range, things like that. Trying to go for those long gunfight engagements, holding spawns, and all that good noise. Right now, on with Joker, heading into this A hill inside a big garage. Gonna be a good one, Blue.
You know, something that's always crossing my mind while we watch the teams pick rogues is, you know, they can't see each other choosing their rogues. It's always funny when you see something like 2 Lancers come out in King of the Hill, and we never mention Lancer for King of the Hill being a huge power pick or very popular pick. But I like the fact that she could just dodge reload over and over again, go life drain to start off, get an instant pick and pick up someone's gun. I mean, you won't even need to buy your 24S to begin with. Yes, it's a really good gun, but if you can pick up someone else's gun at the very beginning, you have life drain to start off with. And now you can even buy things during the game, the rounds, right? You don't have to wait until the round is over. And look at this, already picking up someone's gun. She has her 24S on her back, so no life drain to start here in round number 1. But still interesting.
Does like the DMR. He likes the DMR. Now they have 3 DMRs because NashX is actually using the DMR on the Talon as well as Rugi, which means they right now currently have 3 DMRs, 2 set ones with Nash and Rugi. But who's that? Going to be popping those boots, and he's going to be hitting a flank on this Lancer that is going to be coming for this courtyard area. And right now,
it looks like they're already fighting for position for Hill 3, whether it's going to be on the soccer field or in the workshop. They don't know which one just yet with 50 seconds remaining, but both teams were very hesitant to step onto this B site, mainly because it's such a death zone.
Yeah, this zone right here, neither team usually gets more than 20-30 points. Most of the time, the main points that do get taken on that hill is the scrap time. You know, about 25 seconds, everyone starts rotating to next, and whoever has the hill at that time is just going to get all the scrap time and most likely lose out on the next hill. And right now, Nash, you can already tell
but yes, look at this.
Down these spawns with this DMR. And he's got to win that one, not able to win it as Sackage helps out Mr. Brady, holding it down at the very back of the spawn. So they lost spawns on the big money hill, Blue.
Oh, man, what I was going to say, Rome, I was saying, look at this. You had both teams kind of positioning themselves for either the soccer field or the workshop, right, for C or D hills. And then all of a sudden you see a shift in rotation coming from FrenchX saying, guys, I think the hill is going to be C, right? So let's go towards there. They ended up doing it, and then they won the fight for those spawns like you mentioned. Neither team knew where the hill was going to be. There was 13 seconds, so you had 3 seconds until it shows the lock icon of where the next hill will be. Luckily, it was the one where both teams were positioning themselves. That was just some luck of the draw there.
Well, currently in 4v4 King of the Hill, at least, it might be different in
It still
66,
goes
but
the same
4v4
way. See, I always forget this. I've been kind of just running through the casual King of the Hill, the 6v6, and it's been mixing it up. But yes,
oh, yeah, it's been fun.
You are right. I sound like a big fool now because I just keep forgetting that the 4v4 is still some linear in the hills there. Alphabetical order. Now will be that last hill, the D site on the soccer field. This is where things kind of get a little crazy. I mean, we can look at Just Us. They were losing by over 100, and they came back on this hill. So anything could happen here. Only up by 16, still counting for that lead, though, is Mighty Porcupine. But Brady positioning himself on the statue. Could give himself a good shot. Throws out the C4. That's unfortunate. Joker turns the corner and takes him down.
Yeah, and right now, Who's That has to play his part, and he's got to get these kills, able to get one. Doesn't have life drain yet, but he's just going to be holding it down, able to dodge that DMR shot. Nice G-slide out of him, and he's going to be hard aiming this guy. He's going to be taking him down. Finally does drop for his team. Joker going to be trying to hold down this long angle, not able to hit the 2-tap on that player hopping up, and YTB trying to clear it out for his team as he's going to need to take out NashX. Simtex is going to be doing that now. Up by 25 is Porcupine, and they got to break this hill if they want to win it. 25 seconds left on the clock, Blue.
Yeah, but when they were down by 25, there was about 20 seconds left, 27 seconds left on the clock, so they can theoretically win this without having to go to sudden death if they don't allow anyone to touch it at all. We'll see if that is the case. They are keeping them at the bottom of that wall there towards the spawn where the little basketball miniature court is. Nice Semtex comes through. Did find some damage, but not the down. Now, sudden death is starting to tick away because the score, only a 1-point difference here, and they step off after clearing that wave. That was a nice little comeback there to retake the site from Mighty Porcupine.
Yeah, they were able to hop up, retake control. They got the pinch in. Players went down, but Nash was able to stall time, and while everyone went down, Nash just stayed alive. A player did accidentally step out, and they ended up winning the round because of it. Small mistakes can cost you rounds. And right now, Rugi not having to do much on the fixer. Right now, Nash on the DMR. Joker with that Riptide as well, and Who's able to make some plays. And that's the thing, when you surround yourself with amazing players, you don't always got to do it all yourself. And that's the case right here, is everybody getting a piece of the pie right now. Sackage going to be trying to make the play on Who's That, but Who's going to get caught out. And now it's a 1v1 Lancer. Hit him for 53. Are you going to push or not? Looks like that's not going to be the case, and he's just going to die to the Simtex instead. So Who's That getting the better of him with the Lancer plays.
Wow. Big explosions coming in. We saw a C4 kill, a Semtex kill. I think we saw a lot of damage coming out from Halo drones. Speaking of a lot of damage, Who's That? Finding one, finding two. Dodge rolling for the reload. Joker's kind of G-sliding, it looks like, across the screen. Lots of shots coming out. Finally taking care of Sackage there. Mr. Brady off the respawn, getting shot up by Nash. Look how far with the Deadeye he's able to cover the distance. Still controlling the objective during all of this as well. Now that B hill getting close to being unlocked here. There's a 1-for-1 trade, but YTB goes down, and the site will be taken control of by Mighty Porcupine once again. They have a commanding 50-2 lead at this point. Going in to 1 minute left on hill too.
Yeah, if you're able to get a lot of time on this B hill as well, that is just another nail in the coffin. Right now, Who's That is going to be trying to live in this one. He's not going to be able to do that as Mr. Brady with that Deadeye takes him out. Love being able to see exactly where they are shooting at with this new reticle, man. Absolutely beautiful how you can edit the reticles in this game now. And right now, Mr. Brady just trying to hold on to this site as it's a stalemate. They're able to down Joker, able to 3-tap Nash, but he goes down himself. Now, all that, and they only got 10 total points on that B hill. That is why People just do not fight for that B hill currently, and that's also one of the reasons it is going to be getting changed in the next update. So that's going to be something definitely to look forward to, as it's going to be more covering that A bomb site. So a lot more to fight around. Those gunfights are going to be extremely fun to watch. Can't wait for that update. But for now, this C hill is the current money hill on this map, and they are fighting for these spawns. And right now, Porcupine was able to get these spawns. So we'll see exactly how long they're going to be able to hold it now.
I mean, usually we would say if you come away with 10 points on Hill 2 on this map, you're A-okay for that hill, right? But going into that third one. But, man, the amount of points that were able to be scored on that B hill from Mighty Porcupine really set them up for success. They still have to fight tooth and nail for this third hill, obviously, being the money hill. But maybe they can ease up on their rotation just a tiny bit because they were able to take about 20 or 30 points from Hill 2. It doesn't look like they're going to ease up on anything, actually. 85 and counting with just under 30 seconds to go. They're not giving up much room to rotate towards D just yet, but now they will start to do so. They take out Tykins, and nice shot! Oh my goodness. He knew he was there, saw him pop up, and just did not hesitate to release the trigger on the Deadeye. Finds another one with his teammate Rugi getting the credit for the downs.
Ooh.
Right in the Jaguar's mouth. I like that. Can watch both sides of the statue no matter where he positions himself. 96 points on the board with just a minute and 5 seconds remaining. If they can keep French away from the objective, they might not even have to score the full 150 here.
Yeah, and the great thing about having a Talon Dart in a place near the site is that you're going to rack up all those assists if somebody is in there. So you're going to get even more money. And Nash, he's already got the tracker rounds. Now he just needs to save up for that life drain. Then he's going to have 2 flashes, C4, life drain, and tracker rounds. And that is when a Talon is fully online. Sack is just not...
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Rome, we just missed Joker get a double knock while being flashbanged. He got flashbanged and he got the one knock, and we were like, okay, that's a good one. And he was able to find a second one while being flashbanged. I mean, granted, the flashbang was probably done by the time he hit the last shot, but still, to be able to do it halfway through that. Nice shots coming out from him. The Deadeyes all around. I mean, you got the Talon out there with one. You've got 2 fixers out there with them. They're putting in some work on both sides here. As finally, the end of the timer will come through. And, I mean, Rugi, 21 downs, 43 eliminations. You said he'd run the scene in the respawns in this set. There was some people out there that were keeping up with him, keeping pace, but still, him and the rest of Mighty Porcupine will take that game and finish it out 2-0. So while we have our replays going, like normal, or like usual, Rome, walk us through what Mighty Porcupine did so well in order to just shut down that King of the Hill from FrenchX.
Hey, if you're able to hit your shots with your Deadeyes, then you are going to be able to run a whole lot. And right now, we got the demolition highlights first. So we got these ones of Who's That just absolutely going crazy on the offense. And then when it came to the defense, we saw what they were able to do as they were able to pinch everyone using that Lancer to the best of their team's ability. And right here, Joker was absolutely putting in work on the Kestrel. He loves playing the Kestrel. That's why I said I wasn't really surprised if he'd end up being the top fragger, simply because he is on a comfort pick like that. You know, and Nash just doing absolutely amazing things. He's known for having that super small reticle to be able to pinpoint directly on people's heads. It's just absolutely amazing to see. Mr. Brady was trying to do what he could, but it just wasn't enough. As Who's That, Joker, Nash, and Rugi went absolutely insane on this Favela's King of the Hill. Nash able to hit these crazy dinks. Absolutely amazing stuff. That's ours in the shooting range right there, ladies and gentlemen. Practice makes perfect. Able to get the 2-tab right there. Joker able to maybe get another one. Let's see. It's a highlight. I'm sure he's going to do something. There it is. Here it is.
Accuracy.
Exactly. Just amazing stuff out of him, man. Joker just putting in work, man. The Deadeyes were putting in work as they were not even having Deadeyes. Joker said, I'm picking one up. I'm going to use this one just like it's my own gun. And man, they were just absolutely doing incredible things right there on that King of the Hill. A 2-0. Can't say I predicted it, but, I might have predicted it. But a 2-0 for Mighty Porcupine in the series and on the Favelas King of the Hill.
Hey, whether you predicted it or not, it happened. Mighty Porcupine, they take the Favelas King of the Hill game 2-0. Their demo was an 8-2, so they will take this quarterfinals matchup versus FrenchX in a 2-0 fashion. A dominant performance from Mighty Porcupine. So they will move on to the next round of the bracket, which we do have some updates for you when we talk about these. I mean, Just Us Roco was able to take down Takers in their quarterfinals matchup, so they will move to the semifinals. They're awaiting the winner of Good Goat, who ended up beating Stiff Snake. So Vibes was a team we were looking forward to. They lost to Stiff Snake, and then another team that we talked about a little bit earlier was able to take down Stiff Snake. So Good Goat versus Fantastic Toad. The winner of that will face Just Us Roco in the semifinals. And then we just watched Mighty Porcupine take down FrenchX. Now Mighty Porcupine awaits the winner of Bad News Roco and the Dream Team. Dream Team, another team that I wrote down before we started our broadcast today. That's Class, Renewal, Silhouette, and God VPB, some players that we used to see constantly a few months ago. Then they kind of disappeared. Now it looks like they're back. They call themselves the Dream Team, and they're well on their way with a chance at this week's title.
Oh, yeah. They've been doing a lot of team scrims this week. They've been tweeting out for it. They've been trying to get as many as they can, get as much practice in as they can. They wanted to show out this month and perform extremely well. And, I guess it's paying off for them as right now. They're securing themselves some points. I believe securing themselves at least some piece of the money. And, right now is all about getting as much of it as you can, getting as many points, as much money as you possibly can in this qualifier right here, as everyone is fighting for that number 1 overall seed heading into the main event.
Hey, fighting for that number 1 seed. The Dream Team, they are looking to do so. But first, they have to take care of Bad News Roco, who also want to be the number 1 seed. But Mighty Porcupine, Just Us Roco, they are one step away from making it to the grand finals. All they need to do is await who they need to play in the semifinals. Those matchups still going off of our broadcast, so we will be awaiting those. Rome, it's an exciting day. We've only watched one match, but I cannot wait to get into another one. I don't know about you. Oh, man, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. The gameplay that we've seen, it's absolutely incredible to watch. We've seen some amazing plays already, some close rounds, some super good King of the Hills. I'm excited to see what this next round's going to have in store for us, man.
All right, so with the teams that we have left, right, we have Just Us Roco, we have Mighty Porcupine. We are so familiar with the players on both of those teams, okay? So let's put them aside. We're not going to mention the players on that team. It's a little bit of a challenge for you, okay? So out of the other 4 teams that are remaining, we got Good Goat, we got Fantastic Toad. If you need rosters, I will tell you, okay? And we also have Bad News Roco and the Dream Team. Out of those 4 teams, I'll let you cheat. I'll give you 2. What 2 players are you looking forward to seeing, not just today, maybe, but this month overall?
I'm extremely forward. Okay, I want to see Class. Class is on the team, the Dream Team. I'm excited to see Class. Class is definitely a player that I'm excited for. He has been putting in work. He's been uploading a lot of clips on his Twitter, and they have been some pretty disgusting clips. Now, some people say, oh, those are just in pubs, but still, doing some of the things that he's clipping in pubs, you can translate those things into competitive, and the guy has an absolutely disgusting shot, and he might be on the come up, might be making a lot of noise with this team, very underrated team group here that they have been practicing and grinding. So I'm excited to see what Class is going to do. That's one player from that matchup down there. Let me see if I can pull somebody from the other matchup right here. Good Goat versus Fantastic Toad. I'm excited to see a couple players in this one. Mainly, though, I'm excited to see what Jess is going to do. What Jess is going to do on the side of Good Goat. This is her first time really playing in the 10Ks where she's really trying to compete and things like that. So how is she going to do performing at this level? Already secured herself at least 1 point and some money, which is really, really great for her. Now we're going to see how far she's going to be able to progress, if she's going to make it to the semifinals. If you make it into the top 4 of the first qualifier, you're going to be feeling extremely, extremely good. So the new player coming into the competitive scene, even though that she's been doing a lot of the private, smaller tournaments and things like that, right here, this is the main stage. This is the big boy tournament. And it takes a lot to play in it, and a lot of people are playing in it right now, and she's one of them now, and she's been showing out. Let's see if she can make top 4, man. It's going to be a ride.
All right, so Jess and Class trying to put themselves in a new class themselves, the higher up in the competitive scene. Okay, I like those 2 picks from you. I can't disagree with them, but hey, we'll see how well they're able to live up to your hype once again. Rugi lived up to it. We'll see if those 2 can as well. We'll be right back after this break with our next matchup here in a Rogue Cup number 1 for the August Showdown.